Russia will play France in the big final in Tokyo 2020, and this is Volleyball Explained Olympics Special. Today we are going to have a very special guest. A co-host will be Peter Kukolik, one of the biggest followers and fans of Volleyball Explained channel, and I'm very grateful for that, Peter.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks a lot for being here. Really a great day of volleyball. I wouldn't say that that any of the matches were a surprise. Russia, just like in the group stage, beat again Brazil, but this time 3-1, not 3-0. And secondly, France, this time for its revenge, beat the team of Argentina 3-0. Let's start firstly with the match. In terms of names, probably the bigger favorites, Brazil and Russia played at this morning, and Russia won 3-1. Firstly, what are your overall impressions from this match? Because Brazil started with winning a set, even very strongly with to 18, if I'm not mistaken, but then Russia was able to turn it around.
Well, I was expecting a big fight. Maybe everything should be decided in the fifth set, and the outcome was a little bit surprising even to me. If you take a closer look at the statistics, you can see that both of the sides made exactly 26 errors. So, firstly, Russia gave one set to Brazil, and Brazil said, "Thank you, that's very kind of you. The second set is yours." Regarding the errors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very, very unusual that when two opponents meet at the big stage tournament, that the winner of the first encounter wins also the second one. I'm very curious, when was the last time when the same winner won all of two encounters at some big stage tournament like Olympic Games or World Championship. The first set was even until the score 10-10. Then Brazil took over. They made the first block, I believe, and then they were trailing. They had a comfortable cushion of couple or 3 points of the Russians, and Russians, it's very unusual for them. They did not make any block or service ace during the whole first set.
Yeah,
it's very unusual for them.
Yeah, it's interesting that after these two sets, I was thinking actually that it was a little bit, no offense, but it was a little bit like a women's match where there are a lot of amplitudes between the different sets. Yes. And in the third set, what happened was that Brazil was leading 23-19, and then the blocks of Russia started, and they made 3 blocks and won the set 24-26. And that was actually the tipping point of the match. And then not that easy, actually very difficult set for them with 23-25. I would say also that the efficiency of attack overall of the outside hitters and the opposite were a lot better for Russia. For example, Wallace had only 11% efficiency in attack, so that is probably the biggest weakness. That was probably the biggest weakness of Brazil in this tournament. The opposite, Wallace was not playing like actually we remember that he can play.
Regarding Wallace, I have a note that the Russian libero Golubev, he could easily stop or dig every attack when Wallace was attacking on the line, and no one could stop him when he was or catch him when he was attacking diagonal. And regarding the female volleyball in the first two sets, the Brazilian team had to take their second timeout at the score 5-10. They were out of timeouts for the whole second set, and it was very, very unusual that when Renan Del Zotto, the Brazilian head coach, was like really, really nervous and not very confident about his own team. Like he wasn't very happy with the performance, especially from Wallace and Lucarelli. Lucarelli was substituted with Douglas because of his low percentage in attack. I believe it was something like.
I believe 20 is the Lucarelli's efficiency 20. Is 20. Yeah,
that's very low.
Which is also especially taking into account the fact that the efficiency in attack of all three Russian outside hitters, Volkov, Kluka, and Mikhaylov as an opposite, was over 30%, I believe even over 30, 35, 34, 35. So that was pretty much what is interesting in volleyball in general, for me at least, is that sometimes the overall statistic at the end of the match is pretty much lying a lot. Why? Because, for example, in this match, Brazil seems to have superiority in most of the elements. They have more aces, a lot more aces. They have more blocks even, but this came to be that way just because of the fact that they actually won the first set with a bigger margin, and then then lost the other sets with smaller margins.
Small margins. It was 8 points altogether.
Yeah, or 8 points altogether against only 7 in the first. But what is interesting, talking about Golubev, is that I believe this libero is much better in defense than in reception. And another thing that made impression for me is that I don't think this was the serve of Russia. We all know, but just the reception of Brazil was not that good as we can expect it to be. And probably this is because of the fact that both Lucarelli and Leao are probably more attacking outside hitters than receiving one. Still, I believe that the same thing is valid also for Russia, but I don't know. It's a very, very interesting thing. If you take both teams on paper in terms of the quality of individual players, you wouldn't say, at least I wouldn't say that Russia will beat Brazil, and even they will beat them 2 times. Yeah, probably Mikhaylov is better than Wallace, and at least in his shape nowadays. But I would say that Thales is a better libero than Golubev. Lucarelli and Leao are better than probably. One thing. What do you think about the statement that Lucas didn't have a very good tournament? He was better in blocking, but the attack was not the attack of Lucas we know.
Regarding Lucas, I can say that all his career he was an mostly attacking middle blocker. I haven't seen him make 4 blocks or have a efficiency 1 block per set like he did this morning. So it's very unusual for him. He was the best player for Brazil for me. Another funny thing is that Mauricio Souza has the weakest or the slowest serve, and he made the most aces, and he I think it was everything on Golubev's reception zone, and he had a third set service run in the third set, creating a gap Like, and then Russia substituted Volkov for Podlesnik, and Podlesnik did not serve a single ace, but he kept on serving good service and keeping Bruno out of system, and they had to attack from high ball, and they kept digging them, and you see it with your own eyes.
Yeah, before the match, I believe that somebody write a comment in the comment section in YouTube. If Russia is able, if Brazil is able to beat Russia after the first match, I said actually that it's very much depending on their high ball success, and Justin didn't work out this time. Okay, let's go to France Argentina. France beat Argentina very easily. It seemed to be in the group stage. Argentina beat France, but like I said again, after the match against Russia, Brazil against Russia, France is a different team. And let's say it again: France beat Russia in the group stage, and now they're playing in the final. Brazil, I don't know why I'm talking about Brazil, but France is always a big thorn in the foot of Russia. I believe they beat them, for example, in European Championship 2009, when Russia was the biggest favorite in the tournament. And of course, for example, they beat them now in the group stage. So I believe that Russia will have very big problems. So let's start firstly with France and Argentina, and what was different from the match in the group stage.
Well, as Victor said 2 days ago, France are doing their homework properly. There are two things, in my opinion. They concentrate block in the middle of the net. Whenever Conte was in the back row and they were expecting a tight attack from him, they were committing 2 blockers in the middle of the net. And the Checo, when he was setting his middle blockers, you can see almost every time when Conte was in the back row, there was a double block, once or twice, even a triple block, a pipe attack or a quick attack with a middle blocker. And it made the Checo think, well, I'm setting my attackers against double blocks every time I go in the middle, so I have to adjust. And he said to Lima, error. He said to Poglachen, he got blocked. And it turned out this way. Like, Conte cannot pull this team alone. He needs someone else to make some points, and Argentinians did not have anyone else except him. Like, Palacios was Mr. Zero, and Lima was very underperforming the whole match. And the second, maybe more important thing from this match and from the France side was the play or the game of Trevor Clevenot. Like, he's amazing. He finished the first set with 66% efficiency in attack, the second set 71%, and overall the whole match he was 58% efficient in attack. That's unbelievable in my eyes. In the semifinal of Olympic Games, it's unheard of. He was so like relaxed and focused, and I don't know, I haven't seen any like Engapet. Yeah, you can see Engapet. He's the king of out of system plays and these kind of unusual situations. He feeds on them, and it's his natural habitat. But simple, insistent play, Clevenot, heads down.
Yeah, it seems actually, at least in my opinion, that there were 2 tipping points in terms of roster for France. The first one was changing Tilly with Clevenot, and the second one, maybe curiously, but was changing Tognuti with Brizard. And we have mentioned a lot of times in this show or podcast whatever you can call it. But the problem was Tuniuti that he became very readable. I don't know what is the reason. Probably too much information, too many stats. But Brizard is playing amazingly. And the other thing that we commented also with Victor the other day is that they're blocking really well. They're not making that many kill blocks, but they're touching the ball, and it's just the Brazilian game. It's touch from the block, defending the ball. This defense is almost like a free ball after the block. So they have at least 3, sometimes probably also 4 options in attack in the counter attack actually, and it's amazing how they're doing it, and it's really a fantastic game. And I believe that it will be a very even game. The final, it's almost impossible to predict what is going to happen. I noted the same thing. Argentina was playing only Conte. The other very difficult for them, but that was also a function of the fact that the French block was really, really fantastic in this game. And I believe that the final will be very interesting because it will be the great Russian attack against the French block. What do you think about this final? Yes, technique against power, but not only technique, because it's not only about technique. And this block is really, really, really good.
I'm looking forward. It's the climax of the whole volleyball tournament. They are my 2 most favorite teams from the whole tournament. So I am happy as a fan. I'm happy as a volleyball enthusiast, and I'm very looking forward to the final. It's going to be a joy to watch them. If they are at their best, all the players, if they can play what they are able to play, then it's going to be really, really, really good match. Probably tiebreak, and we will see.
Yeah,
volleyball wins.
Volleyball wins for sure, and I believe France started very slow this tournament with a defeat against USA. They lost also against Argentina. I believe it was the 3rd match, so they started with 2 defeats and only 1 win against Tunisia. But then everything happened, everything changed, and let's mention now that tomorrow are the semifinals in the women's tournament with USA against Serbia, the derby match of the semifinals, and the second match will be between the teams of Brazil and Korea, and this is going also to be a rematch because Brazil and Korea played also in the group. Yeah, there's some kind of a big insect in the house, but okay, probably it's also it also wants to listen to volleyball analysis. Yeah, probably that's the reason for that. And also let's mention the beach volleyball tournament results, because it's also the climax, the ending, the last matches in the tournament in beach volleyball, and the finals will be the following one. In the men's tournament, the Norwegians Mo and Sorum beat Province and Tox in 2 sets, and they will play against not the Qataris, but the Qataris were defeated from Krasilnikov and Stoyanovsky. So the Norwegians will play the Russians in the final. So Province and Tox and Sharif and Ahmed will play for the bronze medal match. And of course, the women's final, which will be played tomorrow, will be between the teams of USA and Australia. April Alex against Artacho Del Solar and Clancy. And in the bronze medal match, we'll play Verge-Depre Heiderich against Graudina Kravchenoka. So I believe that the finals in the beach volleyball tournament will be just as interesting too. And yeah, that was pretty much enough, I believe, for today's. Thank you again. I hope that you're going to inspire even more people to comment in the comment section, and probably
I'll do
also
my
to be
best.
guest later in the podcast. Yeah, thank you.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you again. I would like again to thanks to the spectators. If you like our content, you can subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't done it. But also to watch in YouTube, to listen to us in the Spotify podcast platform, or any other podcast platform for listening you can use, or you would like to use. And that's it. Thank you again. See you until the next time. Bye bye.
Bye.